Against Castano. We read this out before I start the intro. Come enjoy real conversation with the number one grinder. Us as the righteous ones individually. Let's make a change within ourselves and genuine be there for each other. We got. So let's get it in, y'all. Let's get it in. The Underrated Boxing Talk number 35. I'm sorry, the Underrated Boxing Talk number 36. I'm sorry. After the intro.
Sometimes people don't know how much hard work you put in. But when it comes time to battle, you must think about each and every day that you put that hard work in.
Why don't you play anymore?
Brian Banks was 16 years old when he was accused of a crime he did not commit.
Hello, I'm back. What's up, God? Nolly? What's good? What's good? The big homie from Column. What's good? What's good, fam? Thanks for coming again. Welcome. Blessed to you, Sister B. Welcome to the Underrated Boxing Talk. Number 36. Moving up there. Clarence McClain. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into it. Oh, before I continue, I will have the Underrated MMA Sports Talk number 15. That's going to be tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, the Underrated MMA Sports Talk number 15 tonight, 7:05. I'm not 7 o'clock. 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is going down too. I already hit you with the 105. Now I'm gonna hit you right here. So, family, got things coming up. So check it out. So we're gonna bring in the one and only Clarence McClain of McClain Sports, also McClain Productions, also Duck Down Productions. Here the brother is. Here he is. The one and only.
You gotta stop messing up my name, bro. It's McClain.
I know, man. I'm sipping on I'm sorry, man.
Right. It's McClain's Promotion and No Duck Zone podcast.
I got it. I'm sorry, man. I'm saying don't have my head on that. But
name, bro.
my bad. What's up? I'm good. How's the homie doing, man?
Man, I can't complain, man. Just enjoying this Sunday morning. How's everybody? Salute to the chat. Salute to the panel.
Salute to the chat. Salute to God and Hollywood. Oh, Sister Beach up in the piece. All right, now we're gonna get this going. Have you watched any The underlying fights.
Yeah, I got in just in time after coming from an amateur fight last night. I got in just in time to
Okay.
catch all the bouts. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Okay, what you do about? I'm gonna give you my preview on it.
It was great. I catched Rolly, and what's the other guy he was fighting? I caught that fight. Rolly looked pretty impressive, but the referee had to keep warning him about stuff he was doing, and I think it was to a point he even took a point. But Rolly ended up still winning. Who else? Shit, I forgot the other name. There was another guy that was on there. I forgot his name though. But the matches were, the matches was okay. But the one that that we all was waiting for was for the Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano. It lived up to what I didn't think it was going to be. Honestly, I didn't know. This is why you always have to look into a man's background, because you don't know. But I've been hearing some things about Brian, and Brian Castano is better than he's better than what people said he is. I was surprised last night because he caught Charlo with a lot of shots that I didn't see Charlo take in the Harrison fight.
Yeah.
He landed. I mean, he just wouldn't. He's one of those fighters that just wouldn't go away, man. And Charlo hit him with about everything. But at the same time, he was taking some shots from Charlo too. And I think there was even a point in the fight, and people could agree to disagree if they watched it last night. There was times Charlo could have had him out of there, but he didn't finish his breakfast, man. There was times a lot of those punches after a while started to affect Brian. And Charlo just didn't finish his breakfast, man. And it turned out to be a disappointment, not because he didn't finish the fight the way I wanted him to. It was the whole scorecards and the whole draw. That wasn't no draw. They gave Charlo, I believe, that it was 111 to 117. I'm like, what fight, was there watching? It was just a whole big, it was a whole big mess. But I believe the draw was to set up for a rematch, sort of like the Wilder and Fury after their first fight. Wilder clearly won that. I don't care what Fury did. After you getting knocked down them 2 times like that, how do you turn around and make it a draw? Well, we want to see them fight again. So that's kind of, I guess, what's happening now.
Got you. We're going to bring Bruce Goes in the building. Salute to you, brother. What's up, Bruce?
Bruce.
What's up? The number one grinder. How are you, bro? Clarence, good morning, my brother.
Good morning, Bruce, my favorite guy. How's the family, Bruce?
Excellent today, man. Excellent. With the day that God gave us, man, we got some brothers on here to talk some boxing. We had some great fights last night, man. I couldn't be happier right now, bro. I tell you, man, I'm having a great day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me, before I continue. He was on blue. On blood. Oh my God, they was knocking down, bro. Clarence, they was knocking down like
when you
25.
Said blood, wait a minute, who you talking about? Bruce and who?
No, Bruce was a blood.
Yeah, we were on a panel yesterday. We were trying to get the greatest boxers after 1980. And I think we had about 50 of them. We had to cut it down to a panel of 25 boxers. We still haven't done it. We were on there for what grind? About 6 hours chopping it up.
About 6 hours. And plus, did you know, check out before I continue, they still got about almost 40 more to go.
Yeah. And it went by so fast. Everybody was so into it, man. There was no bullshit in there. It was a beautiful panel. Brother Curtis was there, and a couple of guys from over the pond. It was beautiful, and it was all people who knew what they were talking about. There were no idiots there, so I knew I wasn't wasting my time. It was great, and like the grinder just said, we still haven't finished it yet. We still have about half of it to do.
40. He said 37, but I counted. Y'all got about 40 more to go.
LT man said, I hope you guys put Macho Camacho on that list, and Trinidad.
Oh, Trinidad's on that list.
Oh man, that list is so hard to do right now.
LT, man.
Machos, I think they're both.
No. But I'm a vouch. But Bruce could vouch for me. I ain't cut you up, brother. Bruce could vouch for me. A part of that now 25. Trinidad is on that list.
Hey, if Trinidad wasn't on that list, underrated, I'll tell you to end the show right now.
Brother Clarence, man, you just try to think about the putting it to 25 boxes since 1980. You know, since this age of media and pay-per-view and all the boxes we know, and we're going back to Mike Tyson days, and we're going all the way up to we're going through Chavez and Roberto Duran, and I mean everybody, Thomas Hearns. Oh my God!
You know what? I wish I could have been a part of that, because that sounds like
you would have fun, but it was a historic. It was historic is on there, but you could have got on. You could have made some noise.
Well, I mean, y'all was on there 6 hours. I couldn't have did 6 hours.
Well, you know what the problem was? You know, Blood only has his what's the stream that's on StreamYard? He only has the basic StreamYard, so he could only get 6 of us on the panel. And he wanted to get more, but he had to limit it.
He must have got the free. That's probably what it was.
Yeah. He's upgraded it, and I think he's even got it on his other channel, his documentary channel. But that's the platform that we were on, so it can only be 6 of us. But I think it was a pretty good panel, man. You know, we nobody was hogging the mic. Everybody had something intelligent to say. Everybody was articulate. There one guy came in in the middle there. I don't know who he was, but him and Curtis got into it, man. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was. Yeah, he. I think he was there just starts things up, man.
Yeah, but as soon as he went away, it went back to normal.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, LT, man. You wants to get on? You know boxing? Because LT, man, let me put this out there. This is a good brother. I met him from Mace Taggart channel. People could tell you this. When I had Underated Boxing Talk, guy know boxing. This ain't link. So you want the link? Got no box. All right. Okay. I'm going to give you the link. All right. So Bruce, tell us when I send the link to LT, and when I send you the link, put whatever it is, and then let me know you send it. And then I'm going to send you the link to the panel. Tell us about the fight last night, please.
I enjoyed the whole card last night. It started off with the what was his name? Emil Carvadal, and he fought a guy who was trained by Shields, Manuel Ami, I think his name was. Almy. He was a power puncher, but it was an excellent fight, man. It was the opening match, and it was a close fight. It could have went either way. The kid Vidal won it, and people were booing the decision because Alemi was a hometown fighter, so of course it was got mixed reactions. So to me that was a great fight, and Randy Shields was comforting him at the end, said, "Don't worry about an L, bro. That was a good fight. People are going to remember the fight, not the L." It was very heartwarming to see that. And then next fight, man, Rolly. I mean, anybody who's watching boxing now knows this crazy Rolly, man. He's got a snarl on his face, man. He's never smiles. He never has a good word to say. And he took on this last minute sub, Yigit. I think he's from Sweden, and he's an former Olympic boxer. He didn't show me much, but it was mostly Rolly pushing him around. But the thing is about Rolly, man, even after the fight, he looked like he's ready to jump on. Who was that? Jim Gray, the guy who was giving him the interview. Man, fucking Rolly looked like he looked at his eyes, and he never smiles. But all of a sudden, he got this more of a serious snarl about him. I thought he was going to jump on Jim Gray, but he's calling out Tank now. I don't know what's going on with Rolly, but I think he's got a little fan base going.
Okay, yeah. LT, man. That's my email right there. Go send me something right now so I can plug you in, and then after that, I'm going to send you the link to come to the panel. So go look at my email. That's my email in the chat. Go send it to me right now so I can send you the link.
The brotherhood. What's up, brother? I ain't seen you in a minute.
I ain't see you in a minute. You want to get on? You want to get on brotherhood? Let me know. Let me know. Now, all right. Let's talk. Let's talk about the main fight. Last night, Clarence, you go. Brother Bruce, you go, and and
What
I
you mean, the
go.
Charlo fight?
Yes.
I already spoke about the Charlo
Oh, you're
fight.
spoken. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Bruce.
Yeah.
Brother Bruce.
As far as the main event, the Charlo fight,
Yeah.
I thought Charlo received a gift by that draw, man. To me, Charlo got. I scored that fight 8-4 in favor of Brian Castano. I thought he was cutting off the ring. Every time Charlo tried to open up, Castano would nail him upstairs. He was hitting him in the body. He had his head in his chest. I thought he controlled the fight. I thought he knocked Charlo down. What was it, the second or third round when he opened up on him? Charlo was sitting on the ropes. And to me, that's a knockdown when the ropes are holding you up. But that judge who called a 117, 111. What is going on with that score, man? But like somebody said on here, man, looks like they're setting up a rematch. But as far as that fight goes, to me, that was a robbery. Christmas came early for Charlo. He got a gift. Are they going to rematch it? Even Charlo said, you got to ask Heyman. So, boxing is the business of boxing. We take it from there. We'll see what happens. I was entertained last night. I thought that Castano was a tough kid, man. Coming out of Argentina. What a background Argentina puts out too, man. I mean, they got, there's boxers there, Carlos Monzon, but mostly they have just tough guys. Hugo Coro, Juan Roldan, freaking. Oh man, it goes on and on. Like Juan Roldan, that's the only guy that officially knocked down Marvin Hagler. It might have been a slip, but he was a strong man. He's a guy who could pull a car with his teeth. We're talking crazy strong, and that's what Argentina is famous for. They call him the Bull of the Pampas. They've had that kind of boxers. That's the tradition. And I've seen Castano in his amateur career. Now he beat Earl Spence in the amateurs without headgear in 3 rounds. He beat a prime Devchenko in 5 rounds in one of the tournaments, the semi-pro amateur tournaments. But I mean, look at the people he's got on his resume. He didn't come in that ring to lay down, man. This kid is tough. I think he beat Laura in that fight. It was called a draw. You watch that fight again, man, and it all depends on what you're looking for. But I'm the kind of a guy that likes the inside fighters, man. I see the beauty in that. You put your head on the guy's chest, you bang those ribs. When those hands go down, you go upstairs. You get out and you don't get hit. That's the beauty of boxing, and that's effective and entertaining. And Castano did that last night, and he didn't get rewarded for it. I think he's lucky he came out of there with his belt.
Yeah. You know what I think, bro. I'm along with you. What you saying? That he got a gift, man, because he lost.
You know what? Kind of how he Bruce could back me up on this if you saw this. It was kind of like in the Harrison fight. He was giving the fight away, and except for I felt like he did a little more in this fight than he did in the Harrison fight. But Brian Castano is no Tony Harrison. He's something. That kid is something special, and this was my first time ever seeing him fight. I've heard about him. I've seen highlights, but he Charlo had a chance to get him out of there, and he didn't take advantage of it. And like you said, Christmas came very early for him because last night Jamel was supposed to have his second loss, and I believe that God, not the judges, I believe God was on his side last night. And if if Charlo wants to prove he's the best, like he says, instead of him moving on to somebody else, I would take that rematch and get him out of the way, and who's ever next after that, then bring him on. But until you take that rematch, it's going to be hard to walk around still claiming you're the best when Castano won that last night, and he really proved that he should have been the undisputed champion.
Okay, good.
What up? What up?
Hey, let me into LT man in the building. Also, brotherhood. What's going on? What's going on, fellas? How you doing? Finally got you.
Not much, man. Just came out of church with the family. Seeing that
Okay.
you were out, you always show me some respect, so I just wanted to come in and show you some love back, man.
I appreciate that. Yo, we got a fight over here. He's a go. Tell him. I ain't saying nothing. Tell him. You gotta let him know. I'm not saying nothing.
No, man. I used to do some boxing myself, bro. 99, little amateur thing. Golden gloves. Still got my little tiny boxing glove charm.
Okay.
You guys hear me? I'm sorry, man. I'm walking in this store. It's a little loud, man, so forgive me.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I'm glad.
Hey, nice to meet you, LT. I hear you fine.
You too, man. I was just heard you talking about that you guys were talking about boxing the other night and naming some of the great fighters back in the 80s and 90s. That's why I was like, oh, shit, hold up. Y'all better throw Trinidad and Macho Camacho in there. You know, you got
Oh, they were in there.
They in there. So that was that when we was talking about that was on another channel that I was watching yesterday, and Bruce was, and the brother just speak to Bruce, he was on the panel. But we want to ask you, and that brotherhood, we're gonna get you and welcome too. We want to know, did you see the fight last night?
No, not the fight last night. I seen the Connor one, but I didn't see the fight last night. It was family day yesterday, bro.
I got you.
Yeah, but go ahead, talk about it. I'm all ears, man, and I'll throw in a comment or two in there, and let me know. Talk to me. I wish I had my computer. I would have been looking it up right now.
Well, yeah, I saw the fight last night. I saw the whole fight, and I don't see what everybody else saw, because I scored it. I felt like the score was like 116, 112, Charlo favor. Charlo obviously took away Castano's best attribute, which is his work rate. He sliced it almost in half or even more than that. I felt like Charlo was the better ring general. He was obviously had the better defense last night. If anybody was making somebody miss punches constantly, it was definitely Charlo. I seen Castano throwing a lot of flurries, and Charlo was slipping and blocking a lot of the shots. But I feel like people wasn't really catching on to that, or I don't know what people were seeing, but it seemed like he got credit for every single flurry he threw. You see what I'm saying? From the people though, I don't know about the judges. I felt like the judges was closer to scoring the fight right than all of these fans that saying Charlo got the robbery or whatever. So I just don't agree with what most people saying about this fight. Maybe people will see it a few more times and change their mind or something, and after they see those punches when landing like they thought it was. But yeah, I ain't see it in Castano's favor, and I was leaning towards him to outwork Charlo, and he did the exact opposite. He threw way less punches than he threw in his last fight. He threw over 1,000 punches in his last fight, and he comes in this fight and throws like 400 some odd punches, and that's because he respected Charlo power. Obviously, he got hurt several times.
Wow, I gotta see this. I gotta see it now, man. I really can't comment on it, but damn, I want to see it now.
Yeah, man. Before I'm gonna talk to brother, man. I'll be saying my lace to you, bro. You don't be coming to my boxing thing, man. What's going on? I ain't did none of you, man. What's going on, brother? I just messing with you, man.
Oh no, I took a break from doing lives, bro. This is the first time I've been live in a long time, really.
I just messing with you, but I'm glad that you here and everything, man. I hope this won't be your last time here because you know you good over here. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, bro. If I come anywhere, it's gonna be around y'all. I ain't too I ain't too much messing with these other crazy channels, bro.
Yo,
Hey,
you hear yo? Yeah, go
you're
ahead.
gonna protect,
Go ahead.
you're gonna protect us underrated. You're gonna protect us over here.
Oh yeah, I got you covered. They know I chop people heads off from here. This ain't no game right here. No, nah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But let me explain about LT, man. And we're gonna get back into boxing because I wanna talk more about the fight and also I want to talk about boxing too. I met the LT man through my brother Mace Taggart channel.
Right,
And
right.
and then so little by little he been showing up on my lives and stuff. And and then also he showed up my last live that I did 105, and I want to thank you for that and everything. And I want you to keep on coming back and everything. And I want you to thank you so much that you know that you believe in what I'm doing and stuff.
Absolutely, bro.
I appreciate that. And tell people
Well,
more about yourself before we continue, please.
well, just real quick, I'm not trying to take away from the show or anything, but I met you with Mace Tagger. I just like those you guys shows. You guys have good topics. You guys got good panels. They got pretty good points. I like you and Mace because you call out the bullshit when you see it and you hear it. You know what I mean? No drama, and that's what keeps bringing me back because you control your show. Mace controls his show, and that's if you hear everybody on this panel start barking and start yelling and you cannot understand. You can't get to it. So what you do? We leave. Doesn't mean that we unsubscribe. No. But if it keeps up, we just don't pay you guys a visit no more. It's anybody, not just you guys. But that's why we're here. But no, I came out to Mace one time and I got my own. Well, we're in business with other people, but we got our own CBD business, and that's why you see my avatar there. And with for hempforfitness.com, just basically it's all natural products. You know, anywhere from arthritis medications to CBD products from dog CBD tinctures up to horse pellets. Check it out. Use discount code T210. Save yourself 10% discount. Mention that you've seen it on Underrated, and we'll send you a free gift of something that you're interested in, a sample of.
Got you. Okay. Thank you so much. We're going to get back to you in a few minutes because you're going to tell people how you know the golden gloves and the importance of it and everything. Anybody else that want to talk about the fight because I want to get into talk more about boxing. Matter of fact, let me go back to Brotherhood first, and I'm gonna get to the rest of y'all. Brotherhood, have you seen the undercard?
Oh yeah, I saw every fight last
Now,
night.
all right. So your input, please, before we continue.
Roly, man, the hate that this man is getting is unwarranted, man. I like the kid. I think he only 22, 23 years old. Kid only got 13, 14 fights. He coming in the ring bringing pressure. He trying to get the knockout. That's what the fans want, right? High knockout ratio. The man is he a little dirty. I guess they ain't sit well with the fans, but I'm like, wait. B Hop was dirty. Andre Ward was dirty. What's the problem here? What's the problem? He going in the right direction, if you ask me. I like this performance. I like how he got the bigger guy out of there. Showed him he wasn't scared. Like I ain't gonna break it down too much because he destroyed the man and everybody saw it. So I just want to focus on the hate he getting. It's unwarranted, man. Y'all, he giving the fans exactly what they asking for, and y'all mad at him for it. That's how I look at it. But if somebody see it a different way, it is what it is. I don't see where the hate coming from. It's like these fans is more into personalities than they are action. And what I see in the ring is action. And the first fight, Vidal versus Aleem. I thought if there was any robbery last night, I thought that was the robbery. Aleem won that fight. He was boxing beautifully. He was in his bag all night. It looked like he is an improved fighter since he joined Ronnie Shields. He He was landing at will. He was landing the cleaner shots all night. Even though he was getting pressured, he was using good footwork. I just seen him. He did everything he could in that fight, man, and still got a bad decision. That fight should have been a draw at worst for Aleem. But I do like the Vidal kid. I want to see what he do in the future. I like to see
Yes.
him fight somebody like Jaime Munguia or something
Yeah.
like that. Give him a good test.
Yeah, I was thinking about, what, brotherhood. Yeah, I'm gonna get to y'all in a few seconds. Give me this. I was thinking about that too. That was on my mind. I'm glad we here, bro. I'm thinking about that. I would like to see that fight. I really do.
Munguia, right? Munguia versus Vidal. Yeah,
Yes, yes. I want to
yeah.
see that. I want to see that. But thank you for over here. Clarence and Bruce, any last questions about the fight?
Oh,
When we go,
absolutely, absolutely. Brotherhood, salute my brother. How you doing, man? Long time no see.
All right, salute, fam.
Hey, man, I tell you, bro, respectively, I don't know what fight you were watching, but I couldn't see Charlo winning that fight, man. I just saw him getting the ring cut off. I saw Charlo when he tried to get on defense. He was getting hit and he'd lay off again. He did land a few good punches. He didn't follow up afterwards. I just can't see how you could give that fight to Charlo. And and by the way, that was very important. Being a unification fight like that, being for undisputed. Now, they took a poll of the judges at ringside, of the reporters, and 71% voted for Castano to 21% for Charlo. And these are guys who are getting sweat hit dumped on them with every punch, taking pictures. So
But you gotta. But I don't want to cut you off. But you gotta know that the hate comes with those votes as well. These
but
dudes
bro,
these dudes are some of the most hated dudes in boxing, bro.
no,
You're going to get
you
results like that.
you cut me off. I didn't finish.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this happened after I watched the fight and after I came to my conclusions, man. I scored every round. I thought Charlo got knocked down in it was the second or third round, and I thought the ropes held him up. That point deducted was big. To me, the entire fight was as it was, but I thought Charlo did not do enough to win the fight. I think he didn't take the directions that Tay Jones was giving him. Tay Jones was saying, stay in the center of the ring. He's backing up and he's on the ropes. Excuse me, not Tay Jones. Fucking, who's this coach?
Derrick James.
Derrick James.
Yeah, James. But I couldn't give that fight to Charlo. No matter which way I looked at it. I've only seen it once. I'm going to watch it again. But that's just the way I saw it, bro. I just couldn't agree with the way you saw it, man. And no hate at all, because I'm not a fanboy of anything, man. I'm a fanboy of boxing. I don't lose any sleep over who wins. To me, I got nothing but love for fighters. And you can ask the Grinder. I've been on him many times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ride with any fighters anymore, bro. I'm too old to do that. I did that back in the 70s, man. I'm in it for boxing, and I like to see good fights. And whoever wins, I don't care what color they are. I don't care where they come from. I don't care if they're sluggers, if they're boxers. I want to see action, and may the best man win. I just love boxing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, if I guess it's the fact that I don't think he landed all of them combos that people saying he was landing. I feel like it's one of them fights you gotta watch a few times for you to get more clarity. But I feel like you watch that fight a few more times, you're gonna see a lot of them shots that you thought was landing was getting blocked, and Charlo was weaving them punches, man. He didn't get knocked down. All he did was he did get hit with a good shot, obviously, but he was crouching down to avoid the next shot. And I guess people thought he was stumbling or something. He never even hit the ropes. He didn't hit the ropes at all, man. He just crouched down. His legs bent down. So, I mean, I just don't see it, bro. I just don't see it the same way. I feel like people gonna watch it again and they're gonna see it differently too.
Okay, Clarence. Anything you want to say before we continue?
No. I've watched it. I don't need to go back and look at it. My eyes were glued to TV. I felt like he He kind of gave away that fight like he did in the Harrison fight, the first fight. I was upset because I felt like he could have got Brian out of there. He had the opportunity to finish his breakfast and he didn't. When Castano was hurt, he didn't go in for the kill. I felt like he gave him a break. He could have really got Brian out of there if he wanted to. And there was time Brian was hurt. He didn't finish his breakfast. I can't give him no credit for none of that last night. You know what I mean? Like you said, like Bruce said, Christmas came early for Charlo because last night that was supposed to be his second loss. He got away with that. So now we have to wait to see if there's a rematch available. Now, if there's a rematch available, then Jamel knows what he has to do. But it was a great fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but he didn't finish his breakfast last night, and I felt like he could have got Brian out of there at some point, but he didn't. But we're not crying over spilled milk. Like Bruce said, I'm not a fanboy, and I don't care about color. I just like to see a good fight. So let's just pray that in the next 4 months, next 4 or 5 months, it could be a part 2 to this.
Okay, cool. Let me get TS Boxing in the building. Welcome, brother. Welcome to the Underrated Boxing Talk number 36. Welcome, brother.
Yeah, what's up, man? Thanks for sending me the link. I know I came on a bit late. I just had to do some things, man. But shout out to everybody on the panel and
you here. That's what counts. You here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just my 2 cents about the fight. I was listening between Brotherhood and Bruce Goes. I gotta agree with Bruce and Clarence, man. I think I do agree with Brotherhood in that all those punches that Castano was throwing, they did not all land. Like most of them were covered up. But we gotta be real. Like, would you rather have somebody do something versus somebody doing nothing? Yeah, he hurt Castano. He did hurt Castano several times, and he could knock out Castano because again, there's a problem with this division, man. I don't believe that Charlo is this mega super puncher that everybody says he is. I just think these guys just don't they just coincidentally all have a history of not being able to take a punch. Hatley, Lubin, Trout, fucking Harrison, Castano too. I saw Castano was dropped last night. I saw when he was dropped for the first time versus a bum last night. This was somewhere in Argentina, and he was hurt badly after that. And also another thing, a lot of the punches he was getting caught with, I thought the only clear punch that he got caught with that should have really hurt him and did was in the second round. But whatever hurt him in the left, in the 10th round, they said it was like a left hand. I didn't see it. That looked like a phantom punch to me. I don't know how he got hurt with that. It doesn't make sense because at the end of the day, Charlo is 34-0 with 18 knockouts. I don't want to hear all this stuff about he's sitting down on his punches more. No, if you can punch, you'll always punch. That's just the truth of it, man. Something I don't know what it is. Just some of these guys, I don't know. They just can't take punch. But I think in the rematch, Charlo definitely has to listen to his coach more. He may have had an issue with his right hand. I don't know. But nah, he was the same in that fight. It was just that Castano was better than the guys he's used to beating up. Because let's be real, Rosario was a fluke champion. Rosario was a bum. I'm just gonna keep it honest, dude. I've always said Rosario sucked. I didn't give Charlo no credit for beating Rosario. If he beat J-Rock, that'd be a little bit different. But Rosario, no. We saw what Rosario's all about. But I agree with Bruce Goes that 3rd round, that was a count. At first, I looked at it, he was ducking. But I didn't see the whole highlight. I had to go back and watch the highlight. The first left hand stunned him a little bit, like stopped him his track. I wouldn't say stunned him. But the second one, he fell right into the rope. He wasn't hurt, but he kind of lost his legs a little bit. I would have counted that. But I don't know. It's just I don't feel either guy like super dominated the fight. I just think Castano did enough to win. I say like 7-5.
Okay, cool. LT man dropped off and everything. I wanna You know, I want to talk about because we talk about the unlies and stuff like that. I want to talk about the boxing. I want to talk about the boxing of the past, and I want us seriously to really think about the times of then and now. And I want each of y'all pick a fighter that fight in the past that you feel that they could fight any era and why. And we're going to start off from TS Boxing, Brotherhood, Bruce Goes, and Brother Clarence.
I'd probably say, I mean, I know I used him last time it came out here, but with James Tony. Well, nah, definitely James Tony, Emo Griffith, somebody like that. Just guys who do it all, really. Who do it all. Like, if you can do it all, man, I'm big on anybody who has that full package. Usually, you know, kind of like Jerron Ennis. I'm not saying Jerron Ennis can fight in any era, but he's just a guy that I see that has who does it all as well now. But probably James Tony.
Okay, next. Bruce Goes.
All right, my brother. Now you know I go back a little bit. So how far are we going back to the 80s?
Doesn't make a difference.
Well, you know who the first one that came to my head. There's a lot of guys I could name, but the first boxer that comes to my head who would do great in any era would be Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Rest in peace.
Oh, you took my fight. You took my fight.
I mean, can you imagine Sugar Ray Robinson and Marvelous Marvin Hagler?
Okay, cool. I like that. Man, you took my. Okay, I gotta think somewhere. All right, Brother Clarence.
Well, I'm about to cheat right now because I'm gonna say two. That's okay, underrated.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Fidel Whitaker and Roy Jones. Roy was fast and light, and I think people forget about that because people don't pay attention to that. They just pay attention to when he got knocked out and all that. But he was as fast as light. There's a lot of fast guys today, but not like Roy. And Fidel was so slick and so unique with the way he moved in the ring. Both of those guys today, if they could be in the era today, a lot of these fighters would be quitting and working for McDonald's right now because they wouldn't be able to do anything, to those right there. So I picked those two because those two are my favorite, man. Like I said, especially Fidel, for his height, for him to be such a little guy. All these little guys today are great, but he was just a greater little guy. I couldn't see any other fighters today doing anything with him.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna say this. I could name Joe Lewis. I could name. You know what?
Don't cheat, underrated.
Watch your mouth, man. I was afraid of you one time. I'm not afraid of you no more, man. I'm telling you right now, man. Let people know, man. I would say Henry Armstrong. I believe he could have fought this era. Henry Armstrong.
And Bruce Goes, I told you the fix was in. I knew he was going to do that. The fix was in.
Your sound is really muffled, brother.
Who, me?
No, Clarence.
Can you hear me now?
I'll say it again, bro.
Can you hear me now, Bruce?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you are clearer now.
I said I told you the fix was in. Underrated was going to cheat. Look who he just said. Underrated is a cheater.
No, I'm not. Henry Armstrong, all-time great.
Exactly, you're a cheater.
No, why I'm cheating? I could have said Hitman.
No, I kind of agree with Clarence here. We're trying to pick some boxer from today's era who would have fit in with those fighters from yesterday's era.
Okay. You want me to change that? You want me to change that? I change it.
Okay, maybe not from
Hitman.
today. Maybe not Hitman. Absolutely, that he was on my list. Hitman could fit in any era, man. And you know what I was thinking when I thought that I was going to say Hitman. And I thought about Hagler, and I thought about when Hitman hit him with that hardest right hand, and Hagler just kind of laughed and backed up a few feet and went on and tore Hitman in half. Man, there's nothing like that happening today, bro. We start talking about fighters like that, and I get a cozy feeling in my body when we start talking about those guys, man. You know, it almost brings up the past with me, bro.
But let me ask you a question, Bruce, and I want to lead to Clarence and Tyrone. Where every time we talking about greats, right? We never really mentioned that much about Hitman Hearns. Why?
Well, I always do, but a lot of people look at Hitman Hearns for the fights that he lost. You know, he lost to Sugar Ray Leonard in the biggest fight ever. He lost to Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and knocked out by Iran Barkley. So you know, people kind of some people look at Hearns like that, so they don't give him full credit. But to me, when Thomas Hearns was on, nobody could fight with Thomas Hearns. You know, he went up in weight to fight Marvin Hagler, but as far as junior middleweights go, nobody could touch him at that weight. Wilfred Benitez, he outboxed one of the greatest boxers of all time. You know, the first fight with Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns turned boxer to Sugar Ray Leonard's slugger in that fight. It was a great fight, back and forth action all the way. If Thomas Hearns if he didn't get knocked out, if that fight had gone to the scorecards, I think Hearns would have won it. So man, we can't take Thomas Hearns out of that equation. He would have fit in anywhere.
Well, first of all, Underrated, if you're saying nobody's mentioning his name, half of the time, if nobody's mentioning it, then they don't know shit about boxing because you can't mention boxing and don't throw Thomas Hitman Hearns in. I don't care about the fights he lost. All of our favorite fighters, majority of them, has lost. But that doesn't mean that that defines them being a great fighter. So if somebody's not mentioning Thomas Hitman Hearns, like I just mentioned Roy Jones and I mentioned Pernell Whitaker, who has lost before, then they just don't know nothing about boxing, man. They're just fanboys. They're just gonna pick. I'm not a fan of Hitman. I'm not a fan of Pernell. I'm not a fan of this guy. I'm gonna pick this guy because I'm a fanboy, and that's what it is. But it's okay though. But if you're not mentioning legends like that, then then I don't know what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me mention this before we continue. Brother Go, J Speed, OG, thanks for coming. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And Brother Frog Job Mama Boys. I think I seen you before, but anyway, thanks for coming. Very much appreciate. Keep on going.
Yeah. I just want to go back to if it's okay with you, Dwayne. I just want to go back to the fight last night. I
Go
want
ahead.
people to understand that because people kill me. I mean, sometimes you do have to go back and watch the fight more than one time. But when you got your eyes glued to the TV and you see what you saw, there's no need to go back and to look at anything else. You know, me and you Underrated. We actually talk to the Charlo's older brother. We talk to him all the time. So this is no disrespect because he's gonna watch this. This is no disrespect. When Tony Harrison beat Jamel in the first fight, I remember talking to their older brother, and he said out of his own mouth that when he lost that fight, he went to Jamel and told him, "You lost." So I don't think he's probably going to feel any different about this fight, but I'm going to try to get him on this panel, and I would like Bruce Goals to be on here when I do it. I'm going to reach out to Darrell Charlo later on today. I'm going to try to reach out to him, try to get him on the panel, and let's see what he thought about that fight. But let's just be honest. Like Bruce said, he got an early Christmas gift because, in my opinion, from what I saw and my eyes being glued to that TV, he was supposed to have his second loss. But it's okay though. We're not crying over spilling. We just gonna hope that no mandatories get in the way of this, where he can have a rematch, man. You know, and it's gonna be great. The first fight I thought was gonna be on pay-per-view, and it wasn't. I had a misunderstanding about that, but this second one deserves to be on pay-per-view. I mean, Brian proved that he's a pay-per-view fighter, and Charlo, you know, he definitely deserves to be on it. So let's just all keep our fingers crossed and hope that you know, a rematch is you know, it's gonna happen before the year is up.
Brotherhood, you came back. We named fighters that from the past. I mean, from right now that could fight in any era.
I'll say Sean Porter.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. I hear that. I hear that. Now, that's all right. Now, what we gonna do? We gonna do this. Give me two fighters right now. Should be fighting right now, and we gonna come. We gonna do it from Clarence McLean, Bruce Goals.
You got an echo grinder.
I don't. It ain't free for me.
No.
Hello.
I'm gonna mute my mic. Just let me mute my mic and then you tell me what's the difference.
Okay. No, we gonna get you first. Give me name two fighters that should be fighting right now, Clarence.
Two fighters that should be fighting right now. I didn't want to bring this fight up, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I'll say Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence.
Okay.
I know Underated. You hate me for that. You asked me, so I told you.
Okay. I got it. Okay. Oh my God, he gonna make me get. After this, he gonna make me get me something to drink, man. And I ain't talking about no soda either, man. Yo, yeah, y'all, man. I might be drunk when I do my MMA talk 705. So I'm just letting you know right now. I'm gonna be out of it. So just be expected. I can be expected, man. Yeah, man. I'm gonna give me a cold one. I'm gonna be like Chinky, all right? So just be expected 705. All right, I got you, bro. I got you. Brother Bruce goes, please.
I'd like to see Canelo and Arturo Beterbiev right now.
Oh.
It's in the works from what I understand, and to me that's one of the best fights that can be made.
Okay. Yeah. I see that too. Okay. TS Boxing.
Is this mic muted?
Yeah, it was. Who I think should fight right now? Crawford Spence. Yeah, that has to go down. That has to go down because I don't see Spence going up to 154 and fighting Jamel. Actually, that might happen because Jacobs and Derevyanchenko fought, and they had the same trainer. If that happened, I know for sure Spence will let him have Derek, and Spence will find somebody, probably somebody else in the camp to train him, or find somebody down the road or something, because he's not on. Charlo needs James more than Spence needs James. Spence is more talented. He's the better fighter. That's what happened with Jacobs and Derevyanchenko. The same thing.
Okay, that's good. Before we continue, I just did a live not too long ago. I want y'all to go check it out. And I will be back 7:05 tonight. We got a good one. The Underrated MMA Sports Talk, number 15, 7:05 tonight. So come back and welcome the lovely Joy into a chat. Thanks for being here. The lovely, lovely, lovely Joy. Trust me, she is lovely. Yes, she is.
Knock it off. We don't want to hear about your love life.
My channel, I said what I want. I told you I'm not afraid of you no more, man. I was afraid of you February, man. This July, man. I ain't scared no more. I got courage from Wizard of Oz, man. I'll tell you.
Hey,
yeah. Okay. Did we? But I'll say this: that let's talk about the fundamentals of yesteryear and now, and we're gonna start from Brother Bruce.
Wait a minute, hold on, Dwayne. Say it again.
The fundamentals of yesteryear and even today. Is there's a difference? Is they using it more? Is they really implemented of their training? Is they implemented of the tricks of it, of the rolling off the shoulder, rolling off when you how you roll off and everything, how you set up traps and everything, the footwork, everything else. So that's what I'm coming from. And I want y'all to tell the difference from.
1 second, okay? Just give me 1 second.
All right. Oh, all right. So Bruce, could you explain that, please? What's the difference?
You know, I'm gonna have to say it's the dedication of the fighters back then, man. You know, today they're more businessmen, they're more entertainers, they're more managers. You know, back then a fighter was a fighter. You know, he was fighting 4 or 5 times a year. You know, back in the 70s and the 60s. You know, and these guys were dedicated. That was their job. That they left their wives for camp. You know, they sacrificed everything. You know, today's boxers, I don't think they do it. I think boxing is a part-time thing to them. They're into the promotion. They're into the social media. I mean, it's a whole different gig. It's a whole different type of person. You know, I think if you threw half of these guys back into the old days, they wouldn't know what to do. You know, they'd get eaten alive. 99% of them. You know, we named a few fighters like Sean Porter, Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns. You know, they would survive back then. But these fighters today, I just don't think they have that internal drive that the fighters have from yesterday, where they listened to their trainers. You know, they were focused. They had tunnel vision. They worried about legacy. They didn't fight. You know, they wouldn't fight the opposition that fighters fight today. You know, there was no A side, B side. It was more a competition than it was a business, and that's the biggest difference I see today, man.
Okay, brother TS boxing, please.
What was the question?
The question is, can you tell me the difference? What's the difference of the fundamentals of yesteryear than today?
Well, I think nowadays a lot of the fighters get away with too much, you know, too much, what's the word? Improvising. Like they don't really ground everything in the fundamentals, and they throw words around like unorthodox. I hate that word. What unorthodox is just a term for not, you know, sitting down and doing the work. That's just using your advantages to get away with things and the style that you fight with. You know, so it's I would say it's the fundamentals. They don't focus on them too much as they used to in the past.
Yeah, I hear that. Joy said, "I agree. I agree. It's not the same." I'm along Bruce what he's saying, but you know, I would say that there's no dedication. You know, and then the fight, and then the trainers that they had back then, they also fought too. And they always study offense and defense. How you create your defense into offense. They was into footwork. They was into everything. They really studied the fighter because at that time, like Bruce was saying, they was fighting a lot. Even some of them was fighting like maybe 6-7 times a week, even sometimes more than that. And then I think that I think the boxers is, back then there's no respect for the older fighters because there wasn't hardly no money back then. So a lot of them had to travel on trains. Sometimes, sometimes they had to get in cars to travel.
Yeah.
A lot of them had to, a lot of different boxers had to get on like buses and stuff. And so that was those, and they still have to fight to feed their families. Not telling the promoters had to take practically all of it, so they have to come home. They just gave them barely enough to feed their family or to feed themselves. They didn't have like new equipment, so they had equipment that they had to like, fix it for years. And they still had the dedication because they had the love for the sport. Brother OG, look out for your link because I just sent it. And that's why they bring. I have a great appreciation of the fighters of yesterday because they put in the time.
Yeah, you know what? And nowadays too, you got the fighters that want to be the trainers. They want to tell the trainers how to train them. They don't want to listen. The whole point of you having a trainer is, a lot of these trainers, not all of them, but some of them used to be professional fighters. Some of them were in the Golden Gloves. Some of them might have went to the Olympics. Some, I say, because not all. But that's the problem. They're not listening. They're too busy trying to tell the trainer how to train them. They're not dedicated anymore. They're not fighting for legacy. They're not fighting. Some of them are not fighting for the number one spot. Some of them are just fine with getting a paycheck, and that's it. And this is why I appreciate the fighters from the past more than I appreciate these fighters today. The Evander Holyfields, the George Foreman, the Muhammad Ali, the Sugar Ray Leonard, Pernell Whitaker, all these guys, Larry Holmes, the fighters today, or even the fighters from 10 years ago, can never compare to those guys, man. And that's why those videos, those old school videos, those oldies but goodies are always the best videos for me to sit back and look at when I want to learn some real boxing. Not taking nothing away from the guys today, though, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, and I feel that's the thing is for me is y'all can go more on this because I watched I used to watch the fights back in the days and some of them stadiums was not full. But they still fought, and it was great fights. Even like the ones was not famous. I seen great fights. You see the technique was happening, the studying and stuff, the shift. I was like, wow. I said, how he threw that punch? How do you know how do you know that the defense like this? Wow. And I miss those times. I miss those times and stuff. And sometimes we don't talk about it because they figure, oh, they ain't doing nothing. But they'll pay the way it's right now. Kangaroo Jack, I don't know you that much, but hopefully maybe next time I give you the link, you can join. But this is the first time like that, so I advise you, so hopefully next time. Ghost OG, I see you the link. Do your email, check it out, so you can get on the panel. So but I feel that is very important. I think that we should talk more about that. And even like you got some fighters, even like look at the equipment that they have right now. Then back then, when they have a bust up boxing, bag, they have to sew it up because they ain't had no money to get anything else. Where they practice at was their practice around dirt, broken wood. Sometimes some of the fighters had to fix their own. They have to be maintenance. And I want you to talk more about that, brother Bruce.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Back in the time you're talking about, fighters had to be everything, man. You know, they had to take care of their own traveling, their own hotels, if they could even get into hotels back then. You know, we're talking in the Jim Crow era. But, you know, it was a hard thing to do. There were promoters who used to travel ahead of their fighters to promote their fighters, and they would actually build stadiums. They called them Greenwood stadiums. That these were built, throughout America just for fights, where they had if Jack Dempsey was coming to town, his manager would go ahead a month or so. They'd build a stadium in the middle of nowhere to house the fight, and it was a whole different scene. I mean, these guys today, they're prima donnas. Everything's taken care of them. Like you're saying, Underated, bro. You get a little cut in your gloves in training, and everything stops, and it's a sterile environment. It's a whole different environment. If that's what you're going for, bro, because I can see it today. It's not. Gyms don't even smell like they used to 20 years ago. So it doesn't produce the same kind of fighters. It doesn't produce the pit bull fighters that it used to produce. It produces the kind of fighters who want the easiest fights for the most amount of money, and they don't want to pay their dues to get there. So that's how I see the boxers today, and I would love to be proven wrong, but I haven't been proven wrong yet, in my opinion, man.
Brother OG, look at that. That's my email right there. So won't you go and send something to me so I can send you the link right now? That's my email right there. So send something right now so I can get you on. So yeah, but and also too, Utah Bill and stating that is an excellent point, bro. That is an excellent point because we don't talk about it, and sometimes and most at times the boxers have to find their way to get there.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, these guys today, they're spoiled because there's not much they have to do. The only thing they have to do is show up. A lot of their needs are being taken care of versus the fighters back in the days who had to bust their ass to get to where they were going. You know what I mean? And these guys today, they're being pampered. A lot of them are being pampered. The only thing they have to do is just show up, and anything that they need is being taken care of. They're not driving to these fights. They're not driving 8-10 miles to a fight. And if they are, they're not the driver. There's somebody driving for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a big difference between back then and today. But let's just be honest. As much as we missed the back in the days, man, every era changes, and it's just sad. Sooner or later, it's I don't know, man. It's hard to explain it, man. It's just crazy. I mean, I still love the sport. But but some of these guys today, they got it easy. They might not think they have it easy, but they have it much easier compared to guys 30, 35 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, again, brother OG, that's my email in the chat. Just send me something. I'm seeing the link. Seeing the link right away. No problem. Yeah, and brother OG was talking about the 15 rounds toe to toe. They probably don't even have the stamina right now. That's what he told me right now, and that's true. No. That is very, very true.
No, you take any of these guys right now and put them in the 15th round, they're dead probably by the 13th. Half of them already tired by the time the 11th and 12th round come around. By the 13th round, it's over for them.
That's incredible. You know what I mean? So.
Yep, some of the greatest fights we talk about, there were 15-round wars. I mean, even like look at Larry Holmes, man. Holmes and Ken Norton. Unbelievable fight, like Rock'em Sock'em Robots in there.
Yeah.
Ali and Frazier. those are all 15-round wars, man. You know, it just goes on and on. You know, up until they cut him down to 12, and you know, people say it was because of the death of Dooku Kim and Ray Mancini, but then a lot of the people inside say that was because they used to have boxing on Saturday afternoons, and they wanted it to be over with at 6 o'clock so they could switch to network news, and a lot of these fights were running over that time, and they couldn't switch off the live fights, so there was a lot of conflict there, and a lot of people say it was that's why they were moved to 12 rounds, because if you look at the fights historically, the fighters don't get hurt in the 12th to 15th round. You know, they get hurt. They say it's between the 8th round and the 10th round or the 11th round. You know, those are more dangerous. But anyway, man, yeah, these fighters today, if they had to train for 15 rounds toe to toe, you know, so many fights that we could rattle off that I saw 15-round wars that just wouldn't happen anymore. The fighters today, they couldn't, they wouldn't, they better not even sign a contract to do that. Like Ali would say, don't even dream about that, man.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Let me see. This beach. Thanks for coming back, sis. My email is in the chat. You can go copy it down. So in case we do a show or check on, you know, you have it right there. And just send me an email quick so I can plug you in. So my email is in the chat. Brother OG, I just sent a link to you, brother. Watch out for it. You just got to, you get it. You just come straight on. Just come straight in. And you know, even at the fighters, even back then, as you know, Brother Bruce and Brother TS and Brother McLean, they was fighting like 35, 40 rounds, even more than that.
That was just insane, though, man. That would be asking too much. That'd be like putting a couple of gladiators in the arena once again, man. You know, we couldn't ask that. Imagine that 40 rounds, but that's what they used to do. That's how they had to fight back in the day, man. It was, you know, fight to the finish or 20 rounds, 40 rounds, like you said. It was crazy, but that couldn't be done today. It wouldn't even be entertaining. Can you imagine watching a 40-round fight, boy? That would be too much for me to sit through, I think.
Yeah, it was insane. That let me introduce brother OG in the building. Thanks for coming, brother.
Hey, thank you for having me. I just want to put some things in and make y'all think about something. And I know there's a couple of brothers there in New York City. One of the things about the science of boxing, I don't care if you take it from 50 years ago to you take it today, it's still the science of art of war. And if you don't learn it all, you're looking for shortcuts. You're looking for big paydays. And the way to, I think, excuse my voice, I've been broadcasting for almost 48 hours on different panels and even my own panel, but they wouldn't, as you're saying, they wouldn't, I had to make that clear. They can't go 15 rounds. I mean, I've seen when fighters started to stop training in a certain way when they got rid of the 15 rounds. That was one of the things that allow the boxers to be able to be boxers because they couldn't go them 15 rounds, man. So they end up changing that rule. You take it when I went in the gym, man. If a bag bust, we had duct tape on it. At that time, we had medical wide tape. We would tape up the bag, and these guys got the top of the line. Number one, they lifting too many goddamn weights today, and mobility. We found out a long time ago that weights was not good for boxers because of the mobility of throwing, you know, tightening yourself up and being able to throw the punch correctly. Balance in the ring. I can give that to Mayweather. He's one of the greatest person counter punch, but that comes from him knowing how to turn his body, shift his body, and, you know, use the other fighter, whatever his skill level against him. I'm going to just give you an example. In South Carolina in I think it was 84, I was sparring with Mark Breland. At a time when Mark Breland, his work ethic in the gym was every day, all day long. And I was sparring with him because he had family members down there in Barnwell, South Carolina. So he came up to Bamberg because he didn't have anybody to spar with. I was much heavier than him. but damn near he beat the shit out of me. That boy was so fast. He threw 15 punches before I get one off, and I was pretty fast myself for middleweight. But anyway, it shows you, if you look at Mark Breland early part of his career versus when he made that damn movie, once he made that movie and seen the money he could make in movie, just, being on the set, he changed to a totally different person. His work ethic cut almost into or 3/3. He would just go in the gym and just go through the motion. But before, when he was hungry, Mark Breland was just as dangerous as Tommy Hearns. Because if you ever knows about Mark Breland, he rolled his shoulders, he turns his body. And that too many fighters can have a defense like that, but the guy getting clocked upside the head. But he was able to do that his career, early part of his career. So go back and look at the first part of his career and the second part of his career when he made that movie, and you see a totally different person. He got into marijuana, and that's what happens with the fight game today. If you take
can I add on that statement for a minute, man, bro? It's good to hear you, bro. But look, you remember the Cuban Jorge Gonzalez?
Yes.
Heavyweight? Jorge Gonzalez in the amateurs, he beat Riddick Bowe, he beat Lennox Lewis. He defected. They gave him $1 million. He's in Las Vegas. He's out of poverty in Cuba. He's in Las Vegas with $1 million. He didn't want to train anymore. He wanted to go to the strip joints. He wanted to drive around, bro. You know what you just said. You come out of poverty as an animal. You get civilized, and that's the worst thing that can happen to a boxer. They don't know how to handle all that money without good advisors. And you can't just throw somebody from the poverty of Cuba into the wealth of Las Vegas with a blank credit card, bro. It takes the edge off these fighters. And like you just said, Mark Breland, when he was coming out of Brooklyn, man, when he was a kid, he was an animal. 5 times Golden Gloves champion. Nobody's done that.
Right.
Olympic gold medal, 2-time world champion. And he got into the movies. He got rich, and it's the worst thing that can happen to a fighter if they want to keep.
Now you don't have to do all that to get into money. You get into money by the promotions, and that and that is the worstest thing could have happened to the sport. Matter of fact, if boxing hadn't went down, you couldn't have MMA. You couldn't. It wouldn't even be existent. That's why
every fight was like Foreman and Ron Lyle, there would be no MMA.
Right. So if fighters was going the way they used to box, I mean, MA would be just a pass of time. It would be like the girls' basketball league. I'm serious, because boxing was that serious back in the day. And so when they came up with all this other bullshit that they do, it's almost like they changed every sport. Football, basketball, they made it more soft. They made it more Hollywood. And so people used to go to boxing because and too many damn belts. That's another thing. Another one. See, back then you had one belt you were seeking, and you got all these different goddamn belts now with different leagues and all that bullshit. And so you don't know if it's legit or not legit or whatever. If you was heavyweight champion of the world, you was heavyweight champion of the world. That was it. Not heavyweight champion in this. That one, this.
OG, let me stick something in there too. Now, who was the best heavyweight in the early '80s? Larry Holmes, no doubt about it. Correct?
Most certainly.
Everybody in the world, you ask them who's a heavyweight champ, they say Larry Holmes. Now, Larry Holmes never unified the title. He never had the WBA strap. He threw away the WBC. The IBF begged him to take their title when it was inconsequential. And Larry didn't give a shit about belts, but everybody knew that was the main man at the heavyweight division. So that's how much belts mean to me since way back then. But right now, man, every fucking fighter in the world's got a belt. And back then, only world champions fought 15 rounds, man.
Right.
The 12 rounders was saved for the NABF, the regional titles. Only the cream of the crop fought 15 rounds. You had to work your way up to that.
Right. And let me throw something else in there. Look, your results always tell you the truth. By the time you stepped in the ring to do a professional fight, you had over 100 fights. An amateur. These guys today, they coming off a goddamn truck driving job and jumping in there and become millionaires. Not knowing the science, have one blow, and that's it. And if they can't get that one blow in there, you in for a boring night. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, I can take any of the boxers from back yesteryears, the signs they know, and put them in with the fighters today. You can't do that with too many different sports. You can't do that. Think about football. You got a person playing football now. He's in there for 1 or 2 downs, and his ass is on the sideline, and they're bringing in somebody else, put them on the line. You got players back in the day who used to play defense and offense. So no, with all this conditioning bullshit they call themselves having today, only thing it does is look good, but it don't produce shit.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you
All
think
right.
we could throw? Who do you think today's boxers we could throw back into the '70s and they'd survive?
Mayweather,
I
because he understands the science and his work ethic. Not this new stuff he's doing. See, y'all looking at, not you all, but I'm talking about people are looking at these fights he fought the MMA. Look, he told that guy, look, I'm gonna let you do whatever you need to do, and I'm gonna show you what boxing is all about. He ain't going in there trying to hurt them guys. Them guys are really just tomato cans coming from MMA. And everybody who's in the boxing world know what a tomato can is. So what I'm trying to say is, these boxers, like if you take the Brown Bomber, he can come in and fight today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but how
He
about
can,
active boxers today to fight then?
oh,
Any
okay.
of them?
That's why I say, Pernell. Look, I don't really, and I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't keep up with the fight game anymore. To me, it's a bunch of cheerleading, hoorah, rah. I mean, I stopped. I'm telling you, you want me to tell me when I stopped looking at boxing? When Pernell Whitaker lost against, what's his name, the Mexican fighter?
Chavez.
Julio Chavez.
Yes. When he lost against him, and you look at that whole fight, you can go back and look at it the day, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. That's when big promotion came in. That boy had a whole country promoting him, and they wanted that resource and that money. And they took that fighter from Pernell. And Pernell was the same as Mayweather is today. He knows the signs. That's when I stopped looking at fight.
Yeah, but Kama was a bitch. Remember Frankie Randall went down there and what he did to Chavez?
Right. But it don't make no difference
No,
if you take a boxer.
I hear you, bro, and I respect you
Yeah.
because boxing's a cesspool right now.
Right.
But see, I'm swimming in that cesspool. I kind of
Right.
love it. I kind of love it, and it's almost like a
Right.
heroin addiction to me, brother. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
What part of the country you from, bro?
I'm from New England, man, Rhode Island.
Okay, so yeah, I can tell the way you talk. You have studied the game. You have studied the fighter. You sound like a trainer yourself. And I had to give you your props because you know exactly what you're talking about. Just like I say, underrated. I just wanted to come in and shoot that in there and just give a little background what boxers used to be. And when ABF took over AAU, it really started messing up the amateur game. And so it's all about big money now. It's about big business now. And so now the only thing you got is a bunch of polished gladiators who are not really boxers.
Got you. Now I just want to get you up here, so because it's all about sharing. That's what I'm all about. Stick the boxing and stuff like that. Because I always want to get you up here because you're a busy man. It's hard to get you, bro.
Yes, sir.
So but definitely I still want you to stay here. I'm gonna be here a few more minutes because I'm gonna do an MMA talk at 7:05. So I gotta prepare for that and everything. The matter of fact, OG, stay right there because I want a brother TS and brother and Clever Scott off. Yeah, I want TS. I want you to get into this conversation too. What do you think the status of what you think the status in boxing today is?
Yeah, I gotta agree with the brother, man. I'm definitely a bit younger than most guys, but I do see it. Like I just me growing up, people don't really get into amateur boxing. Really, they see basketball and football as easier avenues, and I mean I play basketball and football myself, but it's true. Most guys are coming off of truck driving jobs or want to be journeymen, and then somehow they fumble their way into being a champion, getting an easy belt, and moving on. It doesn't seem like there is they're very few and far between that we've got guys who are like accomplished amateurs who really put in and worked on their craft, because we're losing out on all the talent to basketball and football and sports like that. That's what I've seen happen recently.
Okay, cool. Anybody else that want to add on? Doesn't make them. Well, I'm gonna say this, that I watched boxing since I was very little, and then I didn't really understand until I really got old. My favorite sport is basketball, so but boxing back then for me was something to watch. Because everybody just take it at, oh, they just throwing punches. No, it's a thinking there. And you see y'all talk about the science of it. And you were so amazed, you were so glued to TV. I want to know what is he thinking this mind. I want to know what the train. Even I'm gonna tell you one thing too, and I want y'all to talk about this too before I close this out. Even the trainers back then was they knew offense and defense fundamentally. You got these. I said the last 40 years, you got these trainers right now. They know one guy. If they don't know offense, they know defense. They don't know defense, they know offense. But back then, them fighters back then, there's one trainer. His name is Harry Riley Senior, and I'm gonna tell you about Riley Senior because his son is through social media. The great trainer ever, and he's still not in the Hall of Fame, but he trained. He helped train the late great Henry Armstrong, and also Sugar Ray Robinson, and also he was the first black man that coached the Olympic team, and all his fighters won gold. He won eight matches. And this is the guy that he knows the science in and out.
Yeah, and I want to put one more thing forward because I'm kind of old. I forget things. See, back in the day, we had speed bags, right? Now they're using hand pads, and they don't turn boxing into almost like a dance. See, Mayweather is a special person. He got a low center of gravity. Not all fighters can fight on the same type of training, and we found out that on a lot of different matches that trainers come in, you have the wrong trainer matched up with the wrong boxer. So now they're turning it more. If you can go back and look at the martial arts way back in the day, coming from different countries, a lot of that used to be dance. You know what I mean? It's rhythm dance, and that's what they try to turn boxing into with these damn hand pads. See, with a speed bag, it's coming back at you at different rates, different speed, depends how hard you hit it, how fast you hit it. And so you have the ones, where you can get your coordinated, your stamina and everything else. Now everything is so robotic. And a human being don't think robotic, and I was glad when they brought the water bag in, because the water bag gave you a feel of how a body feels when you hit it, and how it would cringe, and so what I'm saying is the training is so different. It's turning fighters into robots, and fights are not like robots. A fighter instinct, a fighter knowing where to be. When he throws a punch, he knows where exactly that head go be, where the body's go be. The combinations don't even seem the same. And so it's almost like, we used to take a rope in the gym and put a bag and had it swinging from one end to the next end. You would have to weave and bob and these was just natural, what we call gravity, not somebody sitting up there seeing an overhand punch coming from way from the sky, which no boxers go throw it that way, but then you are reacting to that. And so the training is so much different, man. It's like what you see in the ring is pretty much like a rock in soccer. It's so robotic. It don't have the science in it. I see so many guys not even knowing how to throw a proper hook. They throwing arm hooks. You know what I mean? They would just get killed, demolished back in the day. And I see a lot of guys through right hands, and they leave them out there too long. A person with a good hook will just kill them. So It's just disgusting in some of the stuff I see in boxing today. No science behind it at all.
Got you. Anybody else you want to add on brother Bruce before I close this out?
Oh man, no, I couldn't agree with the OG more, bro. It's just not like it used to be. I mean, these guys go full force in the gym now. I mean, you're seeing brain injuries, concussions every day. It's ridiculous. They just don't understand. See, it's called the sweet science for a reason. You know, it's a science book. You have to go to chapter 1 and you have to graduate to the end, man. You have to know the basics. You have to know how to, footwork. You have to know conditioning. I mean, it's a complete business from A to Z, and these guys step in the ring and step in the gym, and the first thing they want to do is lace up and get in the ring, and they go crazy. I mean, these guys they're actually going to eliminate a whole generation of fighters, and they're scaring other fighters from participating in this sport. We have the amateur program is pretty much dead today. It's like the OG said, man, it's not like it used to be, and it's really hard to stay with it. And I'm trying my best. It's guys like you, Underated. You put the panels on, and we can get in here. We can talk about boxing. Keep it fresh. We can exchange opinions. We don't have to argue with each other. We don't have to all agree on the same thing, bro. And
yes.
We just can't do that anymore because like the OG said. It's not just him, but it's a whole bunch of us OGs. We just don't follow boxing anymore. I go to the corner and I talk about it, and I'm talking like an alien to these people. They don't know who Tyson Fury is. They don't know the heavyweight champion. They have no clue. They still think of Vander Holyfield and Mike Tyson are the best heavyweights around. So it's a crazy world today. But if you want it, you can't fight it. So I try to get with it. I get with you young guys on the panel. I listen to what you're telling me. I watch the fights happening today. It's almost like a second comeback for me with boxing because I had to put it down for a few years. Business took over. I couldn't get into it like I used to. I'd watch the big fights, but I just wasn't. I was just an occasional fan, almost like a casual. But now that I'm retired, I'm into it a lot more, and I'm trying to catch up for what I missed. And it is exciting, OG. But the thing is, man, you have to look at it for what it is. It's only fucking boxing, man. Some of these people take it for life or death, man. You have a different opinion, and they want to fight you. You're a nameless, faceless character on the internet, and they get so excited about it. And it wasn't like that before. It was fun. That's why I get into boxing, man, and I want to keep it fun. And that's what we try to do over here. That's the way I feel. That's why I don't come on a lot of panels. The ones I do come on, bro, we keep it fun. We keep it. Respectful, and all I can say is, man, mad love and respect to both of you guys for it, and I give up the mic.
It's a tough man. Hey, Underrated. It's 3 words. What we're looking at today came in the late 70s. It's a tough man competition. That's all it is. You remember that when that guy came up having a tough man? That's what Mr. T came out of. The tough man competition. That's what we're looking at today.
Yeah, and let me say this, brother OG, because I want everybody after this. I want everybody to get their last remarks, and I want you to stay there. So I want us to close it out as a family. This when I do the boxing, when I do the boxing platform, and brother Bruce could tell you, and brother TS Boxing, it's all about fun. There are some people that's going to disagree, but we will make sure we go keep it very truest form as much as it can. There's no nonsense when we talk about boxing over here. That's why what Bruce was saying. I know Bruce. He don't go to anything, any boxing show to talk. Even brother TS, even including me, and I can say including yourself. So that's what I bring into the table of the future when I do these boxing talks. It's very important. I get kicked. Let me tell you, this is one of the few times on my channel, besides when I do my live, I can't wait to talk about boxing because I know that we can learn from each other. I can go way back. I don't have to worry about thinking about, I call it the microwave years when they talking about they just want to go 30, 40 years back and that's it. Instead of go beyond that and everything. It's to me, it's like Bruce was saying, I'm like a little kid again. I could talk about boxing, but see, that's what I bring to the table for other people, and so to talk about boxing. And I want you to be part of that, brother OG, in the near future, because we're going to talk about boxing to its purest form and other things like that. Now, before I get to y'all, let me mention this too. 7:05, the Underrated MMA Sports Talk will come in effect 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The ones in the chat, if you're more than welcome to come on. Any women y'all want to come, y'all more than welcome to come, and everything else. That's at 7:05. Hopefully, TS Boxer he be there and everything. OG, last remarks, please.
Okay, I just want to thank you for letting me come up and give my little old ancient input. And
Yeah, you ain't know. Come on, stop it. Now you gonna make me go get a beer, man. Come on.
yeah. Well, you better get two. If you think I ain't old, you should look at the Ten Commandments. I guarantee you, I got a signature on the bottle. So, but anyway, look, man, boxing at one time was a beautiful sport, and anytime money comes in, big business come in, and it corrupts everything, and then that's every sport. And so, boxing is prone to that too. And I don't know if it ever get back its prestige days and where we can move forward with this. I pretty much know probably in the near future we'll be trying to dodge bullets. I mean, won't be no sports like what we have today. So I hate to see that happen, but we're getting close to it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, just like the gentleman said, and I had to agree along with him. You have to take it what it is today. If you enjoy this sport, I don't want to turn anybody off of it, but I can't, point you in a direction where you can study the sports and maybe you can enjoy it a lot better. But other than that, man, if the guys out there making their money, make their money, but we have to call it like we see it. And thank you for having me on there, and thanks for having these brothers that are on here, because I was listening to the program a lot longer than I ever did anything in the chat. And brothers, all the brothers you had up here today was very knowledgeable in their input, and I learned something. I'm not all to be all. I'm still learning. That's what I do every day when I wake up. I want to learn, and So everybody else have an amazing rest of their Sunday. Enjoy yourself. Live your life. Stay safe, and I hope everybody, family, and them are doing well.
Yeah, stay right there. I want us to close at that and let people know around the OG. I know boxing too. Brother Bruce Goes, please.
Excellent way to spend the afternoon, Underrated, man. I appreciate that the shout out. When you send me the email, I know we're going to come in here. We're going to talk real boxing. I get psyched up when I see that, because I know it's not going to be an animal show in here, man. Everybody in here, very, very knowledgeable characters, man. I got nothing but love and respect for you and for everything you're doing over here. OG, a pleasure to meet you, man.
Yes, sir.
T.S., man, I've been on many panels with you, brother, and you're always respectful, very knowledgeable young man. Clarence, I don't know where you went, bro, but it was cool, man, you being here. And all I can say is, bro, everybody around here kind of knows me. You see me around, hit me up, and God bless everybody. Peace.
And please share the video. Share the video, everybody, because every time I come on somebody's panel, I do give them the respect and I share their video. That's just the way I am.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Brother TS Boxing. Last remarks, please.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Underrated, for sending me the link and allowing me to be on the panel, man. Shout out to everybody on the panel, man. Clarence, Brotherhood, the other gentleman that you had on here before here. I think he'd left earlier. Shout out to you, Bruce, man, for being on the panel and just chopping up with you, man. You're a good brother. The OG here, man, you really know your boxing, and I learned a lot just listening to you, and it's been a pleasure. So, man, thanks for everybody in the comment section and on the panel, and yep.
Okay, now TS Boxing. Before I make my last remarks, Could you come back at 7? I mean, before 7:05
Uh,
that we could do an MMA? I'm just asking.
yeah,
If you
yeah. I'll
can,
see
you
if
can.
I can make it. I'll probably be a bit busy tonight, but I'll see if I can. If not, I'll stop by in the chat.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just asking. I just my last remarks, please. That is this. That again, that us as men and the women too, but us as men, we gotta support platforms like this. It's not. I'm tired of hearing that. Men go against men, women go against women vice versa, and stuff like that. This is it right here. You know what I'm saying? See, this is what I'm talking about. Diverse. This is what we have to be. And I find I'm going to say I'm not going to talk about the women because the women going to be women, so I'm not going to talk about them. But I'm talking about us as men. We got to get our constructive diversity back. Your brothers out there, y'all don't know what you're missing, man. You can ask each brother. Oh, thank you so much, brother OG. You miss a whole lot when you come to these boxing. You can ask Bruce. You can ask TS Boxing. You can ask brother Clarence. You can ask Bruce. You can ask TS, but you can ask Clarence. You got brother. We when we talk about boxing over here, we have fun. Sometimes it gets intense. We have a good time. That's part of manhood. Embrace that. Embrace that. That's all I'm saying. Embrace that. And again, thanks for brother OG for sending me a donation. I really appreciate that. And OG, don't let it be your last time come here either. Because I want you to be on other panels too that I'll be doing it and everything. And I want to thank each and every one of y'all. Oh yeah, I want to let me shout out to brother Clarence, brother Brotherhood, and brother LT man. Thanks for coming too. I want to get you back because I want to do a chop up. I also want to do a chop up. I owe a chop up to Bruce. I owe a chop up to brother OG, and I owe a chop up to brother TS. I owe you a chop up. So so don't. So I'm gonna let you know in the near future. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Oh yeah, anybody that is traveling, the destination or your home, if you travel in groups, be safe. But if you travel also by yourself, take extra precaution. Please take extra precaution. It's very, very, very important. 7 o'clock, I'll be back. Hit you with another one. With the other men. 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But this one, be safe, stay blessed. This one is Ghost.
Peace.